getting a couple of questions specifically about my tattoos. I just thought this would be a good opportunity to tell you a bit about myself. So some of you might already know. I live in Toronto, Canada. I work at a restaurant in the city during the day. Nothing fancy. It's 11. I turned 21 in September, and I start my last year at university in September, so that's pretty exciting. Is kind of creepy. Actually, what I made it for, I do a lot of cycling. I bike a lot. That's how I get to work. I bike somewhere between like 16 and 18 kilometers to get to work. I don't know what that is in miles. You can probably just look it up. But it's quite a distance. It's enough that I usually would have to take a bus to the subway, and then take the subway to where I need to be in order to get there. As I've started biking a lot, and some places along my route aren't super bike friendly. The cars, but the motorists are used to being the only ones on the road. So they take up all of the road, and it's kind of dangerous to be out there with the cars, because there's nowhere for you to bike. It's no safe spot, and it's generally safer to bike if the cars treat you like regular vehicles on the road, and it's easier for cars to treat you like a proper vehicle. If you're very visible, and if you catch a lot of attention. So, as a result, I got this mask, and my intention was to wear it when I cycled, so that I catch the eye of motorists, so that when they see me, they get a little bit intimidated, get a little bit scared, and they say, "Hey, This guy's probably crazy. I can probably keep my car away from him. So that was the plan there. Except the mask, after it didn't have the drawings on it originally. I did that afterwards. F-R-I-E-N-D-L-Y. It spells friendly. Come, I'm friendly. Hi. Hello there. But, it's the end of the month, and, I didn't really think it'd be appropriate, for just, like, daily travel to wear this, so I haven't really tried it out yet to see how people react to it when I run with it on in public, but, thinking about trying it tomorrow, so we'll see. A lot of you had questions about my tattoos. My general stance on tattoos, it's probably clear as I have some, it's just that, they're just another form of expression like any other one. They're kind of permanent, but, it just doesn't necessarily make you a certain type of person if you have tattoos. Anyone can get a tattoo. It just means that you're someone who likes to express themselves in a certain way. So when I hear people say things like, like people with tattoos are scary, I think, well, you must not really know anyone with a tattoo, because, like, the types of people I know with tattoos, especially these days, they're very diverse. A lot of different types of people have tattoos these days. So, I've got quite a few tattoos that are very visible. So I hope when people see me, they don't think too harshly of me right off the bat, but, you do what you can. As far as the meaning of my tattoos, I have 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one. Generally, those are the ones that I sat for the longest to get done. The first one is right here, so a little awkward bit of my arm. It's a skull. It's a sugar skull, like Dios de los Muertos, Mexican Day of the Dead. I just picked that one because, I like skulls. I think they're cool looking. This is something it was a design that I really liked. So I decided to commit to it. I thought it was, I decided I wanted it to be my first tattoo. When I got it, I knew there'd be other tattoos. I knew this would only be my first one. I wanted it to be, something, that I really liked. So, I found that design, I got it done, and it's pretty elaborate. There's a lot of lines in it, a lot of different shapes, and it's all done in a symmetrical way. So it was a bit of a challenging one to get done. But it turned out really nicely. I'm a real fan of it. I mean, now that I've done all my other ones, I kind of just wish I'd gotten it bigger and put it somewhere else. Because the size it is and the angle it's at and the spot it's in kind of gets eclipsed by a lot of the other stuff that I have. My second tattoo is the emblem on my right shoulder. The camera is mirrored, so it looks like it's my left, but it's my right. The emblem, it's actually my dad's thing. He kind of took it on as his own symbol when he was about my age, and he used it to mark things that belong to us. So like my dad fixes motorcycles, so whenever he puts together a new bike, that's the emblem that you'll see on it. Whenever I put together I do a lot of longboarding. I own a couple longboards. Maybe I'll feature a couple in a video I'll make. But yeah, I do a lot of longboarding, and every one of my boards, at least for a certain amount of time, sports the emblem. I call it the Shogun. It's like a samurai warrior. This one was like, it's one of the more popular ones because it's kind of done in negative space. It's quite dark. People think it's pretty interesting. It's one of my favorites too. It's almost like I consider it kind of representative in the same way as like my last name, because it's something I have in common with my dad. It's lets you know that like one of us was there to represent. So my third tattoo, let me show you here. This giant squid comes all the way along my arm. It's long as hell. So you can see it's a little kraken. It's holding the ship. Got lots of tentacles. You can see the wrist, there's also a little ray gun there. It's a smaller one. I don't usually show people that one. People don't usually see it too much. But yeah, that's my third one. My second and last one. Yeah, I just like, I just saw the design, and I thought it was really cool, and I was like, you know what, I want one of those. So I took the particular design that I had found, and I took it to a guy who drew up a new one, and that's what this is. It's definitely a most noticeable tattoo, because I'm wearing like a t-shirt. You can't really see the whole chest thing. I've been wearing a lot of tank tops lately because it's summer. It's really hot. But when I'm wearing a t-shirt, you can't really see my chest. But this is my forearm, so you can see it, most of it, most times. Whenever I'm inside, whenever it's not winter, I'm not wearing a sweater or whatever. And it's very dark. Most of my tattoos are fully shaded black. So I was saying this one, they're very heavy look to them. But that one in particular it's a lot of like dark ink right along my forearm. This one was really painful. When I got it done, it really, people don't realize, but certain parts of your arm, like on the inside, are very sensitive. So when he was working, I'll show you right here. He was working on this part of it. It's hurt a lot because the skin is so sensitive there. So generally, if you're ever thinking about getting a tattoo and you want to know how it's going to feel, generally you can just run your finger along the area that you're going to get it in. And if it feels really sensitive, or if there's like a bump of a bone there, you're probably going to feel it pretty well, because it'll vibrate along the bones, or it'll, just hurt in places where the skin's very sensitive. So just keeping that in mind. I mean, when I went in, my most recent tattoo is my chest tattoo. It's actually only about a month old now. Yeah, it spans right across each shoulder blade and then down to the center of my chest. I'm a little bit past, almost to where just right to the seat. But yeah, it's most painful parts were actually not in the center here, but like these fleshy bits over here on my shoulder. These really hurt a lot. And also along onto the actual breast area. So the more painful parts. You can see this one is actually like a Reaper Angel of Death sort of thing. It's probably the most one obvious one. People were asking about the meaning of my tattoos. Different ones for different tattoos, obviously. This one just kind of represents, my relationship with my dad. This one and this one, obviously, both signs of death. And part of why I like getting stuff like that done is because when I think about what tattoos mean, they represent permanence to a lot of people, but I think that when you think like they're permanent for me, unless I get them like lasered off or something, but they're permanent for me, and I have to live with them for the rest of my life. But the whole point of death is that we, as human beings, aren't permanent. So when I get a tattoo that symbolizes death, it's always that ever-present idea that no matter what you do, eventually it won't matter what you did, because like everything moves on, I guess. So I mean, for some people I think that's kind of like, it's kind of like a black cloud that's always over their head, but the idea that like one day you're gonna have to die. But I've always kind of liked that, because it means that like it's okay to be yourself and to do what makes you happy, because, or to be in a situation that you don't like, because none of it really is that serious in the end. Like, everything comes to an end. So whatever amount of suffering that you're experiencing, you can only suffer for so long until eventually you pass on. Or no matter what anyone thinks or says or about you, like eventually like even the memory of you will pass on, and you don't have to worry about destroying or like you don't have to be scared, because eventually everything goes away. So no matter how bad something is, or no matter how afraid you are, or how much you are worried that what will make you happy is going to make other people unhappy, or make other people judge you harshly, that like none of it really matters that much. Eventually you will die, or the people who don't like you will die, or whatever, and then that'll be the end of it. So it just kind of, it's a permanent reminder to enjoy every moment, and even the moments that you don't enjoy, not to worry about them so much, because they're finite. You can't suffer forever. It's just not possible. And, whenever I think about death, it kind of helps me to take things less seriously. Just in my entire, like every area of my life. Whenever I get too stressed out, I think about how like none of it really is that important. Life goes on. And I mean, the symbols all have duality, because any symbols of death are in turn symbols of life. It's all change. So yeah. But also, like, at the same time, my tattoos are more, I get what I think looks neat. Because again, like, I don't like to take things too seriously. I just like to enjoy the work. I like the way it looks to be tattooed. Like, it's just a good look, I think. And it's a conscious choice, you know? It's who I want to be. So yeah.